Hello everyone, my name is Solomon and this is Abbas and Tanvir. We're Handi-Fuel and today we're going to be meeting with an influencer, Kristin Stewart, and we're going to be seeing how she fills up her gas, and she's going to be working us through the process, and we're going to see if we can help her out today.
So I'm pulling up to the gas pump today. I'm going to attempt to get my own gas. I am a driver, I do have a disability, and I use a manual wheelchair. So that makes it tricky for me to find a way to pump my own gas successfully. I haven't really been able to do that in the past. There's a number of barriers that present itself when I'm trying to get gas. There's usually not enough space for me to get my wheelchair out. It's quite time consuming, and oftentimes I can't reach to see, to input my credit card information or to touch the buttons on the screen. So we're gonna see how it goes today. I know some wheelchair users that are able to get their wheelchair in and out of the car by themselves, but for me that's not possible. I can get myself into the driver's seat, but I'm not able to manage getting the chair in and out. So I have this robotic arm. I push a button and the trunk opens. I'm afraid I'm gonna hit something. Okay, there we go. So yeah, it's pretty neat what technology can do. It brings the chair right over to the driver's side for me. But yeah, I do need this extra space by the side of my door to allow the wheelchair to come. So I just wait a minute until there's a red flashing light on this control panel, and when that light stops flashing, that's how I know that it's all done, and I turn it off and I close the trunk, and then I'm ready to go. Okay, so I can open the gas. So what I see as being one of the barriers here is that there's this step. So I'm not able to get very close to this pump at all. So I feel like I would need to somehow stand up here in order to properly see what I'm doing. I'm not really able to reach where I need to put in my credit card or reach some of the buttons there on the screen because there's this step here and there's no ramp for me to get up. So this is the closest that I'm able to get to the pump.
Hi Kristin, thank you for joining us today, and we want to know, hear from you straight directly that how did you find the experience today? Would you have been able to do it yourself?
Yeah, the process of getting my gas today, or I should say I didn't actually end up getting my gas today, was because of what I expected. I really wasn't able to access things properly. It turns out the biggest barrier for me was that I just couldn't get close enough in order to touch the screen and enter my credit card payment. There's a step, like quite a big curb, and there's no access ramp to that curb to allow me to get close enough to enter the information and to see the screen properly. I'm lucky at this particular gas station I was at least able to get my wheelchair out of the car. That's another barrier that I have at different gas stations, depending on how narrow the passageway is. If there's another pump right next to me on the other side, then I can't park far enough out to allow room for my wheelchair to come out. I need to bring my wheelchair out of the car in order for me to get out and do the transaction. I was able to do that part here because there's room on the other side of my car at this particular gas station, but that can also be a barrier for me.
Thank you, Kristin. So you know what Handi-Fuel is about. We've been in contact. You've been helping us out a lot. So until we can get our robotic arm installed at gas stations that allows for exitless refueling for disabled drivers and accessibility needs drivers, we would want to do it for you while you stay in your car. So this is a proof of concept of what our technology would look like in the old-fashioned way.
That's amazing. I need you to just follow me around all the time. That would solve all of my problems. I'm really excited with what you guys are putting together here. I think it's something that nobody thinks about, so I'm so grateful that you have. I think there's a misconception for, one, that disabled people don't drive, and that's absolutely not true. There's a lot of us out here driving, or then you might think, well, then if you can drive, then you can pump your own gas, but that's also not true, and I don't think we realize how many people there are who are driving but are not able to pump their gas, because if we can't pump our gas, you don't see us doing that. So we just think that it doesn't exist. So I have to plan my schedule around coordinating for family and friends to help me pump my gas, because it's a bit of an awkward thing just calling out to a stranger to get them to do it. I have done that before, but I like to avoid that if possible. So it's not something that is visual. It's not something we see. And because we don't see it, we think that this problem doesn't exist. But it definitely does, and it would for sure make my life a lot easier. And more people than we know, I think, would benefit from this. Not to mention people who maybe don't need this as a requirement, but would appreciate being a little bit easier to just come and get your gas. I mean, we all use drive-thrus at the coffee shop. We don't have to. We can go into the store with how many people will wait in a lineup because they just don't want to get out of their car to get what they need. So I think a lot of people would use this.